Now, a little bit of good news, better news coming out of the House of Representatives. Nancy Pelosi has just lost her gavel.
And with great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress.
Nancy Pelosi is out. I love that was a Daily Wire video of a superposition of Nancy Pelosi at a bar, and everyone just, whoa, see you, Nancy. She's gone. So she's no longer going to be the Speaker of the House because she's not in the majority anymore, and she is not going to run for House Minority Leader, which means effectively she'll keep her seat in the House of Representatives, but Nancy Pelosi is done. She is done as a major force in American politics. She held on for a very long time. Now she is done. Now the Republicans are taking over. What are the Republicans going to do? Well, we've got an announcement from Representative James Comer, Republican from Kentucky, who says they're going to waste no time getting to investigate Hunter and Joe Biden.
This is an investigation of Joe Biden, the President of the United States, and why he lied to the American people about his knowledge and participation in his family's international business schemes. National security interests require the committee conduct investigation, and we will pursue all avenues that have long been ignored. Committee Republicans have uncovered evidence of federal crimes committed by and to the benefit of members of the president's family. These include conspiracy or defrauding the United States, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, violations of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, tax evasion, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The Biden family's business dealings implicate a wide range of criminality, from human trafficking to potential violations of the Constitution. In the 118th Congress, this committee will evaluate the status of Joe Biden's relationship with his family's foreign partners and whether he is a president who is compromised or swayed by foreign dollars and influence. I want to be clear. This is an investigation of Joe Biden.
Okay, so I like the way he frames this. He says this is not just an investigation of Hunter Biden, who nobody really cares about, but it's an investigation of Joe Biden, right? We see on Hunter Biden's laptop, he says 10% goes to the big guy. So is Hunter just off there on his own, making a bunch of money without any knowledge of his father, trading on his father's name, getting his father to potentially make some phone calls? Or is this corruption that implicates Joe? I like it. I think it's important to investigate Hunter Biden. I think it's important to investigate Anthony Fauci. I think it's, even though Fauci now is quitting so that he hopefully doesn't get investigated, in his views, I hope he still does. We need to do all of this. However, I go back to those Moms for Liberty-backed candidates at the school board. We need results, okay? Very often House panels don't do anything. There's lots and lots of investigation, and it amounts to nothing. When the Democrats do it, there's the January 6th investigation that's not going to do anything. And then there's the Benghazi investigation, didn't do very much, and on and on and on. We need results, okay? If this investigation is not going to end in Joe Biden or people very close to him in orange jumpsuits, then just don't do it. Then spend your time on other stuff. It's very frustrating to me that we spend a ton of money sending people to Washington, D.C. as conservatives, and they conserve basically nothing. And as we saw this week with the Republicans in the Senate, they can't conserve even the basic fundamental political unit. And then we spend very little money sending women to school boards, and then they actually get things done that actually matter in Americans' lives and shape the minds of the next generation. So when I'm looking at those two things, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm not going to write as many checks to the Republicans in Congress who don't do anything anyway. And I am going to start writing my checks to the school board candidates who are actually getting things done. We need results. Right now, head on over to expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. Sending data over an unencrypted internet connection is like sending a postcard. Your message is wide open for the mailman and any other nosy individual to see. Whenever you are connected to an unencrypted internet network on your phone, computer, tablet, or TV, you are sending countless pieces of information out into the digital world that can be seen and intercepted by pretty much anyone. A VPN, or virtual private network, creates a secure tunnel between your device and the internet. It's like putting your postcard in an envelope so that no one can read your letter before it gets to the person that you're sending it to. ExpressVPN is the VPN I trust to keep my data secure. ExpressVPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that hackers can't steal your personal data, your passwords, your financial details, etc. Hackers make serious cash selling personal information on the dark web, but ExpressVPN makes it easier than ever to keep your information safe. Just fire up the app, click one button, and you are instantly protected. Plus, ExpressVPN works on all your devices so you can stay secure on the go. Secure your online data today at expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show and get 3 extra months for free. That is expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. As the libs' awful sort of religion of leftism takes over, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, many so-called conservatives are going along with it. This was so pathetic yesterday. Democrats in Congress just proposed a further destruction of the family. The family has been very weakened. It's been weakened for 60 years now. The left has done everything it can to weaken the family. Now they're trying to deal a death blow. And that would be through something they euphemistically call the Respect for Marriage Act. The Respect for Marriage Act would codify the Obergefell decision, which invents a new definition of marriage, completely contrary to the actual definition of marriage that has prevailed everywhere for all of human history. And it would codify it and go further. It would prohibit businesses from following their conscience, from being Christian or Jewish or Muslim, though as a practical matter, they will only enforce this against Christians. This sort of law would make Jack Phillips and Masterpiece Cake Shop illegal. If you don't want to participate in a gay wedding, that will be illegal now if you're a business. It's a radical redefinition of the family, which is the fundamental unit of society. So I'm not surprised that the libs peddle this. They hate the family. They hate society, and they want to destroy the country. But I am disgusted that conservatives would go along with it, and a dozen of them did. These are the senators who went along with it. There were a bunch of congressmen in the House when this passed a while ago, and then the senators yesterday went along with it to advance this legislation beyond the filibuster, which puts it on a fast track to being passed. Roy Blunt, Richard Burr, so Roy Blunt from Missouri, Richard Burr from North Carolina, Shelley Capito from West Virginia, Susan Collins from Maine, Joni Ernst from Iowa, Cynthia Lummis from Wyoming. It's too bad. I actually like her. But horrible judgment here. Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, Rob Portman from Ohio, and of course, Mitt Romney from Utah. Absolutely pathetic. So these people, these conservatives, can't conserve anything. They can't conserve anything. We joke about how, these conservatives, they can't even conserve the women's bathroom. They can't conserve anything. They can't conserve the basic unit of society. They just are Democrats. They just are liberals. And they're radical liberals. They're liberals further to the left of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton in 2011, okay? That's how radical they are. Really pathetic. What is marriage? A lot of people just don't understand this anymore. Marriage is the lifelong communion of a husband and his wife for the good of the spouses and for the sake of the generation and education of children. That's what marriage is. Well, why can't two people who love each other just get married? Well, they can, but not all love is the same, and not all unions are the same. I love my grandmother. I'm not going to marry my grandmother. I love my friends. I'm not going to marry my friends. I love my coworkers. I'm not going to marry my coworkers. What is marriage? Marriage cannot be redefined because marriage is not merely a social construct or a sort of political contrivance. Marriage is a natural institution. This is defined by Aristotle, defined by St. Thomas Aquinas as the natural state of man. Man is a pairing creature. We are connubial creatures, even more than political creatures. And we are drawn to propagate the species with our spouse and to help one another. And that's what marriage is. So you cannot redefine it. Sexual difference is at the very heart of marriage. If you don't get that, you don't get anything as a conservative. If you cannot conserve the natural institution, maybe one of the most fundamental aspects of human nature, you can't conserve anything. So why did these people vote for it? Why did they vote for it? I suspect some because they're just absolute disgraceful sellouts like Mitt Romney, but some because they think, well, it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause. People support the redefinition of marriage now, so Michael, give up. It's a lost cause. That's what they told us about abortion for 49 years. It's a lost cause. Give it up. Oh, come on. It's a lost cause. And then it wasn't a lost cause. You know, the rest of the show starts now. We have got really important stuff today. This is Fake Headline Friday. I have been on an absolute tear. Ben Davies is so upset because I keep guessing the fake headline. I need your help to do it. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.